Welcome to another episode of Web3 Masterminds, hosted by Cryptopolitan and Forward Protocol. And I'm really excited today to introduce you to Anna from XDAO. Hello, Anna.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me for this event. This is just amazing part why I love Web3, because we always have AMAs, we always have sessions, and we can talk about everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to know a little bit about
blockchain.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to know a little bit about your background, how you got into the whole blockchain space, and you know where you are with your team and your project at the moment.
Yes, about me. So basically, I came from non-crypto space, and this was like a journey for me, because I call myself a crypto traveler. A crypto traveler means that this is a person who learn every aspect, every concept, because there is too many concepts to any aspect of the blockchains, of proof of stake, proof of authority, and even different DeFi protocols that is currently appearing. And everything is very interesting, and I started to learn like 2 years ago. It was my first experience with just some SMM stuff, because I dived and I learned from doing some job for communities. And after that, our CTO and CEO just introduced me a concept of a DAO in general. And they say that, look, this is our future, because DAOs, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations on the blockchain, this is our future. This is what we are doing for. And I say, okay, give me just 2 weeks and I will learn everything. And just, it was fascinating, because yes, I believe in this project, and I started to work as a CMO because they wanted to have a good team, and they currently didn't have people who are very good in the blockchain, because considering DAO part, it was something different, absolutely different. So yes, our C-level was formed from the people who we know, and who we knew at that moment. And basically our team, as we started to work, this is the same for 2 years without any changes. We just bring more people, and they keep on staying with us, and they keep on growing with us. And this is a beautiful part of me for staying with XDAO team. So
yeah, it's amazing.
Oh yes, I'm just a curious girl who started it.
Yeah, it's amazing how
it's very interesting, and it's very easy to go in. yes, because I want to say everyone who want to learn DAOs, who want to learn blockchain, it is very easy to start working it. You don't need to be a speculator. You don't to just buy and sell crypto. You can just join this community. You can just join for Web3 space. And this is how we build future. So this is my position.
I think it's a very important point that you bring up, Anna, is that I think most people, when they think about the Web3 or the blockchain space, they think about buying Bitcoin or Ethereum or trading in tokens or whatever it is. But there really are lots of jobs, and there's a lot of potential as the space grows for people. And you've proven it. Someone that comes from outside the space that's just been interested and learned, and now plays a vital role in helping to build that future. So, I mean, congratulations. That's amazing. I think it gives a lot of people encouragement and hope that they can participate, and they don't have to be a big trader or anything like it. Can I just ask you? I just wanted to ask you. I mean, before we dive
I just wanted to say. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, continue, please.
I just wanted to ask you. If you could just give us an explanation as we start, what is a DAO, so that people understand as we're going through it what we're actually talking about?
Yes. Imagine you have something like DeFi protocol. DeFi protocol is a kind of smart contract that's deployed onto the blockchain and can do something, no matter what is it. And for example, a DAO is also a smart contract. So if we took in this perspective, it's also a smart contract, nothing more. And after that, a most important thing you need to understand is that we have 2 types of accounts on the blockchain. I mean, accounts in Ethereum blockchain and Ethereum EVM compatible blockchains, Ethereum virtual machine compatible blockchains. So this is basically two types of accounts. One account is externally owned account, and one is a smart contract. So externally owned account means you have a private key of this wallet, but smart contracts don't have a private key. They have external people who actually deploy this contract and work with contract, and this contract can be held by these externally owned accounts. And so basically, from this perspective, a DAO is like a multi-sig wallet, because in a multi-sig wallet, you don't have one private key, but you still have access to this money. And with this multi-sig, they can vote for something, or you can just do some spendings from this account. And how it is achievable? It is achievable through a voting. For example, let's take, we have 3 members of multi-sig wallet, and so if only through 2 people will vote for it, this transaction will pass. But if only 1 vote, this transaction won't pass. And this is basically the main concept why it's more secure to use multi-sig wallet. And basically, this is how the organization is based on the multi-sig, where you can put your assets, where you someone to voting for it, where there's a lot of people who vote for it to make some decisions. And this is considering the decision part, how we can spend this money. And this is just a multi-sig. But imagine a DAO, it's not only how we need to spend money, but it's also different decisions, different proposals. For example, do we need this? Do we need to do this or something else? And this is also actually a company, how company work. They have like people who make decisions. They have people who do something, who build something. And a DAO in general, this is a people who vote for something. In XDAO, this concept also implemented through a multi-sig wallet, because we have a treasury where people can save the treasury of this company. We have a voting mechanism, and you can vote for something. We also have analytical tools, so you can analyze what is going on with your DAO, what is the changes. And basically, yes, DAO is currently just making itself a DAO. And what we saw in 2016, it's when the DAO appeared. It was really, I would say, futuristic concept. And I think it's very difficult to maintain. And this is why it failed. But in fact, now we started from that time, we started to grow and understand the DAO concept more and more clear, and like do step-by-step things to grow the big DAO, to grow this concept. It is also important to understand that there is a lot of type of DAOs. For example, you have social DAOs. Social DAOs is a DAO when people like create a club. A club, it's like a Discord channel with special entrance for only who buy some token, And another story is collector DAOs. Collector DAOs just collecting NFTs all over the world, NFTs and stuff like this. There is another type of DAOs like investment DAOs. Imagine ordinary trust management fund or trust management company. And this is also implemented through a DAO, but in more decentralized and more clear and transparent way. So yes, there are a lot of type of DAOs, and the DAO concept is very broad.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn in the space, but I would like to know a little bit about XDAO, because I know it's a multi-chain DAO builder for jointly managing crypto assets and DeFi projects. So could you just explain, what does XDAO offer a builder or a person coming into the Web3 space?
Yes. XDAO is also a tooling for creating DAO, tooling or framework, you can, whatever. So basically the idea was to create DAOs for more for investment purposes. Like I just say trust management companies or venture funds. And because our idea is to have like people who vote for something and they have a quorum to vote, for example, and some kind of spend money, but spend money very fast, you know, because another tooling, they allow you to spend money, not to spend money, but make decisions very slow. For example, to turn this decision into reality, you need like 3 days. For example, people vote and this voting will pass only after 3 days. But when it comes to investment DAOs, the actions should be done like immediately. For example, people just come, oh, BTC is growing, you need to buy it fast. And you can go and you will buy it. But another people for sure can accept this offering, accept this proposal, because otherwise it's not a DAO. And after they accept this proposal, it can be immediately transferred, immediately sent, buy, or something like this. So yes, XDAO is a tooling for people who want to move from traditional financial space to a decentralized financial space. And we do everything about it. We also have like XDAO Pro program. It means that, for example, you don't understand how XDAO work, or you don't want to read documentation, learn videos or something. You just want to have your DAO. So our team will go to you and offer you the best solution according to what you want. And you just need to fill up the form that we have actually in our website. So it's very easy. Our team just go to a call with you. You will explain your ideas and how you will want to operate this DAO. And we can set up your DAO just like it will be well prepared DAO. Or if you want something special, you can even program it for you. It will be like a modules, because our DAOs and XDAO have like module system. So you basically you create a DAO. It will be like ordinary DAO without any additional tooling, additional things. But after your DAO is growing, you want dividend payout, you want kind of payroll, and everything it can be done with the module. So you just apply like plugin, you apply your module to your DAO and it will work as additional smart contract. So it is easy, very easy.
That's interesting. So there are really two user journeys. Either I could come into XDAO and I could decide to learn from your knowledge base and I could implement my own DAO. Or if I wanted, I could fill in a form and I could go to your team and they would actually help me implement and build a DAO with all the functionality that I needed to solve my use case. Is that correct?
Yes. That's okay. That work like this. Because we understood that there is a lot of like special requests and we decided to cover them all with XDAO Pro.
That sounds amazing. I know that you've been awarded lots of awards here on multi-chain, etc. Could you give us maybe some use cases, some companies or DAOs that have been set up that are operating in the space now that would utilize your technology?
Actually, we have a lot of working solutions, working DAOs, and also what we are currently building. So let's start with what we already tokenized. So basically, we work with people from Web2, from like real world, like let's say, and also we work with DeFi protocols. So if we can look at our website, and you will find the most the most knowing use case of using XDAO. So actually, this is people who want to create their DAO for their DeFi protocols, and also just a DAO who just works as a trust management or just a treasury. But what we are currently doing is very interesting because we are currently tokenizing real estate. And this use case is currently on the first place in our website because it's really interesting. It is something that is not common, because common use cases one story, but what is currently we're doing is everything different. So we are currently at the Bali Island. It's Indonesia, and what we are doing here is we tokenizing real estate and how it works.
Is that the park project?
It's a XDAO Pro project.
Okay, cool.
So it's like a partner XDAO onto the XDAO Pro label project.
Excellent.
So yes, and they come to us and say, what can we create a DAO for a real estate where like people can make decisions, do some fundraising and stuff like this, and everything in the blockchain, but the whole property that is currently here in this city will be tokenized by our company and transferred into DAO. So basically the concept in general will be like this. People just go to this place and they just need to buy ParkU. This is a ParkU place. ParkU tokens, they just buy it and they can use these properties. For example, they can live there. They can go to work in a co-working space. They can even buy food in the cafeteria that's currently. And yes, this is what we currently do. And the idea is also to give the residents rights to vote for some DAO stuff in their DAO. So residents, the team will all have the rights to vote and to decide what else to build, for example, and what else to implement. So it's kind of tokenizing real estate. It's kind of tokenizing the place. And I think it's a very good example of how it works, how it can be like mixed with real world and with crypto.
I think it's a very practical example. So I'd like to know if I was let's just say I was a new resident coming into the ParkQ environment and I wanted to come and live there. What would be the steps for me to come and participate in the DAO and own property in that environment?
Well, I would say that this concept is currently under development. So I can't say the more details for now, because this is like something we currently building. And once we have, we will have like information about it to share with the community, we will definitely do it. So I think we will share this information with you first of all. So no worries.
Yeah,
now I can say that yes, we also talk. Yes, I can say another example is very interesting. Also, one team, it's called Buy the Broncos team. They want to buy an NFL team called Denver Broncos. I suppose great. You know the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is currently on sale. And this guy are going to create a DAO and participate in auction. So it will be also held by XDAO. We took our part from fundraising part, because fundraising is very important aspects. Imagine you need, first of all, you need to bring the people together. You need to show them where to buy this ability, where to put their money. And in case it won't be successful, you as a DAO creator, you need to give them money back. And this can be done in a smart contract, because smart contract can determine if you are an investor, you can get your money back like this.
I think it basically creates transparent terms where if the funding targets aren't met, then the backers get their funds back, which is a great way to invest in something, because you don't left high and dry. The smart contract is impartial and it adjudicates those terms. It's not reliant on a whole lot of people that might want to keep the money and not give it back to you. So I think it's a wonderful way of doing it. Anna, tell me, we're speaking about like real Web2 businesses here that might have a traditional business structure like a limited corporation or an LLC or something like that. What are the benefits in them switching from that type of structure to a DAO?
Okay, the benefits. Okay, the biggest benefits is that everything on the blockchain can be transparent. So, for example, if you come to the blockchain infrastructure, you can see everything that's going on. So it's easy to use, and you don't need an additional people like accountants, like people who do some lawyer work. Because if we talk about blockchain, it's very transparent and very clear. And this is first concept. The second concept is automative. Automation is bringing DAOs very powerful because you can do some automated stuff each time. For example, we have our payroll module. Payroll module means that you can pay salaries for your team without any invasion. So I go to my DAO and I just need to make it once to program, to fill up the form and actually run this payroll to work, and it will be executed every time I want and every time the people need to get their money. For example, in a monthly basis, in a yearly basis. So this is just an automation. And one more thing, smart contracts can do a lot of work besides demand. And for example, in terms of shares, we need to understand who and how much shares they have. In the smart contracts, it can be counted automatically. And one more thing, if, for example, you create a voting in a DAO, it means that this voting will be in this DAO forever. So you can just check this anytime, and if there is any misunderstanding or any argues, you just can go to this voting and check everything, who voted for, who didn't vote even, and so to understand and to find the truth. So basically a DAO is one source of truth, and this is why a DAO is very good, and this is why we recommend to go to a DAO, to go to a blockchain in general. So that's it.
Yes, I think what you bring up there is a very, very important point, in that DAOs are much more democratic than a normal company structure. So in a normal company structure, you might have a board of directors that makes a decision, and then all the shareholders live with those decisions. And the decisions might be right or wrong. But in a DAO, you have the ability to vote as a participant or a token holder, depending on the structure and how it's set up. And you have a way of actually contributing, which is much more democratic. So I think that's a massive benefit that you brought up in DAOs. Do you think?
Yes, actually,
I was going to ask you, do you think, like with a company, if we had an organization, is it worthwhile setting up a DAO for specific projects within an organization? Or would it be better to just have a single DAO that governed that whole organization with different categories, subcategories?
Well, it depends. Currently, everything that we can have for now is to create one DAO for one purpose. And for example, if we take an XDAO, if you have a lot of how to say teams who work, so, and this team takes different decisions, so it is better to make every DAO for every team. So yes, do not combine it all, because super DAO or a big DAO with sub DAOs currently is not implemented from now. No framework. Yeah, I don't think that is possible for now. So better, yes, because if we have a lot of people who vote for different decisions, it can be messy. We don't need MIC in the blockchain. We need everything that is clear. So yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. And so like, obviously, like in an organization, the question might be, if I have 10 different DAOs in an organization for 10 different departments or 10 different projects, is it going to cost me 10 times the amount to run it? Like if I had 10 different companies, I'd obviously have to have 10 different sets of financials done every year, etc. What is the benefit in that circumstance in running DAOs?
Actually, I can say that there are a lot of people who participate in many DAOs at the same time. So that is the not a problem, but this may be a benefit for people to participate in very different DAOs. And for example, you can do in one DAO one thing and in another DAO another thing. And yes, for sure, if you participant of so many DAOs, you need to, how to say, to plan yourself how to behave. For example, in some DAOs you will be very active, in another DAOs you will be less active, but you still need to be a part of it. Because, for example, in a DAO, in XDAO, you want to set up a quorum. For example, if we understand that there should be a big quorum for making any decisions. For example, a quorum, it's basically the whole amount of governance token that is currently in the circulation. So if we put one quorum, like a small quorum, it means that only one or two people will be enough to execute any voting. So we need to determine if this voting in this DAO is very important, or we can just put a quorum less. So yes, it's very flexible anyway.
That makes sense. So would you say that XDAO is basically building infrastructure to help people set up DAOs?
Yes, this is an infrastructure.
Yeah.
You can set up a DAO, you can set up a company, you can pay, you can make a payrolls, you can pay dividends from your DAO, you can do everything and even more.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think there's a big opportunity there. It's what, at Forward Protocol, what we essentially do is we also create Web3 infrastructure, but in the form of toolkits. So it's like you would set up a website for WordPress, where you might go and download an application, go to the widget library, choose what you want, and then you set up your website with your branding, etc. So in Forward, with the infrastructure that we create, it's basically smart contract templates in the way of like forms. So someone without any coding experience can actually go in there, and they can go and download an application, choose whichever smart contract works for their particular application, and deploy it to the blockchain of their choice. So and I think what you guys are doing is very similar in the DAO environment. It's very important, to be able to create and deliver those sort of tools to people that are starting to come into the space. And you've explained it very clearly in the benefits. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think are the bottlenecks and maybe the pitfalls going forward? What would slow down the adoption of DAOs and people actually utilizing DAOs? What do you think the things are that if we could solve those issues, a lot more people would move from Web3 to DAO-based organizations?
Yeah. The main problem of a DAO is that it can't generate the profit. So this is why not so many people come into the DAOs, because people tend to use farming or something that brings them value immediately. And I think because of this market, we understand that it can't be do anymore, because like if a market will be so big and there is a lot of people who want to speculate, we just can't find we can't find something really valuable. We use this, we try to farm any meme coin, and this is why the focus of the people just move to another perspective. But when we talk about fundamental part, this is also something that can't be like valuable for the first time. You can think about it. And the DAO is this collective efforts to do something big and to invest in something big, to invest in Web3, but to invest wisely. For example, imagine you can be like a loan investor, and you make decision by your own without anyone who can, or maybe you participate in some chat with just another loan investors who just invest in their own and they try to predict market. But if, for example, we just can go, these people can just go together, create a DAO, for example, and discuss every move with a clear hand, with with understanding what's going on, with some kind of educational background, because some people have more money, some people have more educational background in this space, more and if they come together, it can be more profitable in the end. So basically the idea of DAO to make people more profitable with more stable strategies, with not so aggressive strategies. And if the people will understand this, if people will understand that if you come together, you can buy NFL team, you can buy very rare NFT or everything you want, you like. So this is a cooperative, this is cooperational work, and I think we are going to this way. So people start to understand this. People start to understand that in a cooperative we can achieve more. This is why we say that you can, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with DAO.
Yeah, that's actually, maybe it's a Russian proverb as well. It's actually an African proverb that they say exactly that. If you want to travel far, then travel together.
Yes.
And I like what you say about the investing side, because if you think about us individually, just the way we made, we always sort of overestimate our own ability, and we think we are these wonderful traders that can make all this money, and we tend to make, on average, bad decisions. But when it's a general group of people and you're not, it's not just up to you, you've got a far better chance of coming out with a better decision, because it's the law of averages, and you get a better sort of bias towards a better decision. So it's a very valuable comment there. Yes. Anna, how do you see DAOs fitting into the metaverse? I know the metaverse now it's like all hype and what have you, but eventually you'll get the builders coming and really getting and building these new worlds that we'll participate and work in. What is the place of DAOs there?
A DAO in metaverse. Very interesting how we can combine DAOs in metaverse. Actually, metaverse is something that is currently established with NFTs, land NFTs, and some games, gamification. In DAO, in this case, I can't imagine this is just, it will be implemented as a part of DeFi program. For example, why DeFi built a DAO? Because they have a multi-sig wallet, because they don't want to make decision by their own. You want to give the rights to community to vote, for example, and they also need they also need to bring the whole team to this process. So basically, in terms of multi-sig for smart contracts, it's a good way. So there is no difference. Is it metaverse or is it an DeFi, any DeFi protocol? So just how DeFi use DAOs, the same way a metaverse can use DAOs. It's in terms of development and smart contracts. In terms of in concept, we can create even like an offices in metaverse for your DAOs. And this is also interesting and nobody just programmed it so far. Maybe we will be the first who will create it, but currently we have so many plans to tokenize our real estate. So in the metaverse, we don't have a lot of time. So yes, in two words, metaverse and DeFi projects has the same structure because they all have the smart contracts, and they all should be governed by DAO. So this is the easiest answer.
Yeah, it makes very good sense. And then Anna, just wanted to ask you about regulation. And obviously, big corporations, etc., have got corporate governance, and it disallows them from participating in DeFi, for example, because there isn't a regulated structure that they can comply with. They've got the money, they want to participate. We've seen a lot more companies come in this year, and it is definitely growing. But what are the things that need to be changed? What sort of regulation needs to be attended to that will make DAOs accessible to a lot of companies that would want to use them, but can't because of their corporate governance?
Yes, there is still the problem, because even in USA, the current law is still not a law. And there are a lot of misunderstandings. There are a lot of cases when the US law isn't working for DAOs, and we need to understand how it works. We need to work out for infrastructure for DAOs, and of course in XDAO currently we are carefully take this part. We have a department of law, and what we are currently doing is, first of all, we want to settle up our entity, and for sure our next step is to offer some kind of regulation for DAOs who want to have it. So there are kind of online tools where you can just create your legal entity for your DAO. So you just need to provide your address of your DAO, so it will be like a legal DAO. But in fact, it's not, because there is a lot of things to consider. For example, if you just have a vote in this DAO, it's not regulated. But if you have a share of a company, it is regulated, and regulated very hard. And currently, it's our gray spot, and I can say it for sure, and it's nothing to fear about. We work and carefully work on how we can manage it. If, for example, our users ask for support, we can provide them with the support. But it is currently in very personal manner. So current regulations work for cooperative. If you know, in USA there is a cooperative, and for example, you can create a cooperative where everyone have like every in this DAO have an ability to vote. So, and because regulators can't look through the DAO, can't just stalking for any type of voting and any type of movement that is currently going in the DAO, it is easy to hide what you're currently doing. But I think that all jurisdictions very afraid of what is going on with the crypto space, what is going on with DAO space, and I think that it is something very similar. What is going on with crypto, in the same situation with DAOs, and even worse. So yes, I think currently it's more very specified. Every DAO is very specified, and the rules that can be applied is very specified for each DAO.
So on XDAO, on your website and what have you, do you have a knowledge base where somebody could come and learn about DAOs in general?
About DAOs, yes, but considering legal part, we are currently working on it. Okay. So yes, you can just go to the website, to the documentation, to our academy actually, and check everything, how to set up a DAO, how to launch your token and stuff like this.
Okay, so if an organization wanted you to help them set up a legal structure and get a DAO going, you would actually get a team member to give them a hand and actually help them in a bespoke way through that process?
Yes, it's basically achievable with a XDAO Pro program. So if someone have this question, yes, please fill up the form for XDAO Pro.
Okay, that sounds good. And I want to ask you a little bit of a futuristic question. What do you think DAOs will look like in the future?
Yeah.
How do you think they'll perform?
I suppose the DAOs of the future are more like real world centered. So it means that our current DAOs work more for the industry, for the real sector of economy. So yes, and everything it's going through the blockchain. You know, all the accountants, accounting stuff, everything that we in real life. I mean, in our organization can be applied for the blockchain. All the documentation will be signed in the blockchain. You will get an NFT that allows you to have something like property or passport or any other document. Everything will be NFTs. And a DAO is just a company. It's just a normal company that works, that have a budget, that spend their budget on the people, on a team, and for any external expenses. And yes, this is our future, and I hope it will be like this. And we are currently building a future like in a local level, but anyway, this is very good. This is very good and very interesting to work here. And I think the future is bright if we stop to think about speculation.
Yeah, I think I can see you're very passionate about it, Anna, and you bring a lot to the space, to XDAO and what have you. I think it's really worthwhile people that are looking to learn about Web3 and DeFi and all the parts to actually have a look at DAOs, because they will be a part of our future and the way we actually organize ourselves in communities and with voting. And that example you gave of real estate, I think is very, very relevant, because I just think about places where we live that have got a body corporate, which, a lot of the decisions could actually be solved much easier with a DAO. And so I think those are very, very relevant. And I look forward to seeing as you develop and, your products become, I suppose, more accessible to Web2 people that can actually come in and utilize them in a more, and without that bespoke hands-on sort of application. Because I think that's where the real potential is, when it's available to the sort of mass population that can come in and utilize the functionality, which is useful and would be more cost effective and certainly a lot fairer, a lot more democratic to the people that are participating in those communities. So, Anna, I just wanted to ask you, in wrapping up, just some final thoughts on, XDAO, what you guys are doing, anything that I might have missed out that you'd like to add that would be useful to people that are listening about DAOs, about the industry in general. Please feel free to just share last few thoughts.
Yes, thank you. The last thoughts, I think that if you want to start to build something, or you want to be engaged in something in Web3, for sure join DAOs. And for example, currently we opened an ambassador program, and we currently hire an ambassadors who can understand the XDAO and understand the DAO. And you will be the first who knows the news about the industry, about our development, about what we are currently doing and what we are going to. And yes, this ambassador program is for those who are really interested in everything that is currently around DAOs and about XDAO, of course. We currently launched our NFT collection. It's basically an NFTs that can be and that will be launched for anyone who participate in events. For example, you participate in some AMO with us, or you went to a special page and do something and promote XDAO, or you just talk about XDAO, or just very helpful in our chats to our people, to other people. We will give these people a special NFT that shows that you're very special for us, for the community. And after this NFT will be given for everyone who deserved it, we plan to give even more bonuses after these NFTs. So on the basis of how many NFTs you have. So this is a good stimulate for everyone who wants to learn about XDAO, who wants to learn about DAOs, and for sure be optimistic about the market. It's currently just show some lessons about what's going on. I mean, Luna and everything. Yes, we need to stop thinking about Ponzi schemes, and we want to start thinking about more like more fundamental subjects.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to education. And I mean, a good point about Ponzi schemes and that type of thing. I think naturally as humans, we try and jump on the easiest way to make some money or to progress or what have you. And meanwhile, the best way is actually just to, get educated, learn about the space. Get interested, find, like you did, you found a niche where you can really specialize and become an expert, and in a very short space of time, and contribute to the ecosystem that's growing. So, something I can take from what you said is if you are interested and you're listening, just participate, get involved, just start learning, because as Anna's done very well, you can find a niche for yourself and you can grow and really become a contributor. And that's what we all need in the space. We need people to come in and to learn and to participate so that it becomes a safer space for all of us and becomes something that will last and have longevity.
Yes, that's right.
So Anna, I just want to say thank you very, very much for being here, for your time. I've really enjoyed speaking with you and look forward to speaking in the future again. Good luck with your project and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you for invitation again.
Yes, it's an absolute pleasure.
It was a really good experience. Yes, to talk